Ra speaks. See through all eyes. Hear through all ears. Be the voice. Be a bee. Pollinate. Feel the beauty. See the beauty. Be the beauty. Wrapped in supreme happiness with maximum efficiency, minimum effort. The highest good of all concerned. The law of one. Shine, you diamonds, shine. Good day. This is Diamonds Network with Elizabeth Diamond, Elizabeth Mulligan, and Christopher Stephen Jacobs. Welcome, everybody. This is the third series show in a series of Raw Speaks presented by the Diamonds Network. Raw Speaks, we're taking one episode at a time of Cosmic Disclosure. David Wilcock and Corey Good. Corey Good's a whistleblower for the Secret Space Program. Yes, those ones that are just learning about that, there is, and we'll prove that by the end of all of these shows and all the shows that David and Corey are doing and all of the whistleblowers that are coming out. And so, excuse me, for this series, Raw Speaks, we will take the information that Corey's bringing out and expanding detail on that. And also we're going to put our spin into that of the Diamonds Network, meaning we'll be galactizing like we do so well with our brothers and sisters in the stars and in other realms, and also incorporating this with the law of one. It's a law of one prayer, and it is a galactic prayer, and I call it the Trumper prayer. And you can see immediate results of that prayer. We've been praying for a lot of things in this programming matrix, and that as we pray for that with the law of one, we can see immediate results. Our ET brothers and sisters come in, and through Chris, his third eye's on, we can see immediate results, and we will be making a collage of that soon to come. So look forward to that. First of all, don't forget to go to the Diamonds blog for all of learning who you really are and lots of information in this paradigm shift of world and us. And that's Diamonds with an S Forever 31.blogspot.com. You can find the links to the YouTube channels on the right-hand side there and information how to get to our regular calls on Mondays and Thursdays, and our special series. Anyway, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it every time because I believe in it. And here we go. Let me just start with this. We at Diamonds Network challenge you also. Yes, you. You know who we are talking to. You. Do not give in to coercion. Do not give in to fear. That's just false evidence appearing real. For God's sake, have faith. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Your faith, your little mustard seed faith inside of you, every single one of us, is a substance that we hope for. Substance is tangible. It's also evidence of things not yet seen. Faith is substance and evidence. If you can get in that little mustard seed of faith, of the portion of faith God gave you that's inside of you, every day, every single moment, think of beauty, imagine beauty, talk beauty, intertwine beauty with all your relationships. Have faith, not fear. Fear is the old paradigm. Faith is the new paradigm. Okay? Love you guys. So faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen yet. You whistleblowers out there, you're not in the position you're in by accident. Come on, get a grip. Come on, take it full circle. And do not waste this. Do not waste the experiences that you just happened to stumble on and now can bring it out to all of us, the truth, the real truth. Hello. Good morning. Be the superheroes now to spark humanity out of their slumber. We are tired of sleeping. We want to awaken in the dream and create beauty. Not only that, but beauty wrapped in supreme happiness with maximum efficiency and minimum effort. Because we are all one. Every single one of us. Every single thing. We all want the highest good of all concerned. Come on, those whistleblowers. Disclosure, plowing the garden superheroes. Plow your whistle, because we want to be superheroes too. But it's your turn first. Please take your turn so we, the mass people, can do it too. We have slept too long. Please, please, awaken us, superheroes. It is your turn now. Awaken us ultimately to beauty forevermore. It's time. Pollinate. So with that, we'll go into Episode 3, Cosmic Disclosure, David Wilcock, Corey Good, which is titled Lunar Operations Command. And this is our Show 3, Raw Speaks. So, Chris, welcome. How are you today?
Good. How are you today, Elizabeth?
I'm doing good on this rainy day in Minnesota. So, Episode 3 with David and Corey, they're titled Lunar Operations Command. And they actually talk about the Lunar Operations Command, which is stationed on the backside of the moon. And just I'll bring in a little what David said. The Lunar Operations Command is the focal point of how the Earth is connecting out to the greater space program and cosmos in general. I'll add secret space program right now. Not a lot of people know, but people in the world are waking up. But I want, in my heart, I don't know about you, Chris, I want every single person to learn every secret that's been hidden from us and get the real truth in every subject. So anyway, Corey describes what this Lunar Operations Command looks like. He was there for some years. So, Chris, what do you think? How about if we do the Law of One and call in some beings that could expand on what Corey brought forth and come in and give us a panoramic picture of what the Lunar Operations Command on the backside of the moon, on the outside and the inside of the Command Operations Center looks like. What do you think, Chris?
Yes, I could do that. Give me just a second.
So let me just do, yes, you're okay?
Yeah, I had to clear my throat.
Let me just do the law one. We just call in the divine flame of living love. We call in collective consciousness. I call all beings that can help bring out the real truth and give us a description of the Lunar Operations Command on the backside of the moon. And also I thought of if we could call in, if you guys are ready, because you dedicated yourself to be whistleblowers, you know, once you got back from being blocked out of the other side of the barrier that's up, and the Blue Avians gave you permission. I think some of them were part of the Dark Fleet, and then there was another ship last show, and then there was 2 women. And I want to call you guys in, too, if you're ready. But anybody that would love to, we'd love to get some more vision and description of what's been hidden from us for a long time. So specifically on the Lunar Operations Command, the inner and outer, what it looks like. And also there's another base on the backside of the moon called Dark Fleet. Those 2, we would really like to get a detailed description on that. So I call you guys in, and I thank you all for coming. I just call the ones that we have already galactized with, that we know, and I call any new ones that have been observing Diamond's shows and would like to come in and galactize with us. And we're co-creating beauty here on Earth, on the phone, and further and more. So thank you all for coming. I honor, respect you. I give you love. I just say we are all one, and when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. So therefore, in the name of who we are, and we are one with all that there is, we ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen in this request and also in all other requests. Thank you that this is done. So be it, and so it is. Thank you.
All right. The first people to come through are, let's see, Raul Tim is here. He's the big golden
triangle head
guy, the triangle head, yeah. And a couple of the Dark Fleet people are here. So
welcome, you guys. Welcome. Thank you.
And yeah, it's a couple of the ones that showed up last time. Let's see, the two of the women that we encountered last time, Crystal and Rachel are their names. And
everybody's here. Thank you. Yes.
And
if you guys could, yeah.
Hmm?
I was just going to ask them when they get ready, start with the outside of the backside of the moon, what it looks like, a Lunar Operations Command. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Let's see what they have to say. Raul Tim is stepping forward first, and he's saying the bases there are not all for the highest good, but let's see what's he saying. But there are many subdivisions of different human and alien cultures that have purchased, they use the word purchased, slice, and he put that in quotes, of the moon for their own purposes. Some are good, some are not so good, but they all get along there on the moon, and he's showing me the interior. It looks like Corey's description is accurate with the bell-shaped, and but it looks like it's more. I mean, there is a bell shape there, but it looks like there's a couple decks below the widest part, so it narrows just a little more as it goes down. Some of the top levels look like all humans. Let's see, levels down there's more aliens. It looks like there's in the center. It looks like there is a laboratory where the Greys take people. And that stretches out beyond the moon. There's stuff that stretches out beyond the moon that people don't see. And
Chris, just let me interject here. Now, what Chris is using is his third eye. Just for those who don't know or just knew about this, his third eye is that organ is in the middle of your top of your nose, between your eyes, but on your forehead, top of your nose. And that third eye turns on. It will on everybody eventually. You can see like a television, and so that's what he's describing. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and I'm seeing that there are several ways to the surface. I can see elevators. I can even see trams within the moon too that kind of go around the interior. Depends on which culture is using what. And I'm seeing several different distinct alien cultures in there. I'm seeing around the backside, I'm seeing a large base that is actually on the surface of the moon. I can see windows and everything. I can see people moving around there. Let me see here. If it's all human, I'm seeing a mixture of human and alien along the backside, and I'm also seeing a separation where it looks like a separation of areas where it's just specific races. Like I see a partial one that's on the surface, and that is where it's a medical wing for the Draco. This was brought to light in one of the previous episodes of Diamonds Forever. This is where the symbol for the Law of One symbol was born. And this is where some Draco are in comatose state inside of sarcophagi. And it's partially, some can see the moon's surface out of windows, but these are smaller windows like you'd find in a basement. You know, they're narrow. And let me see here. Where else? Yeah, and I'm now seeing a lot of the downed ships. As I'm circling around the moon, I see a lot of the from the ancient battles that went on. I'm seeing wrecked vessels that have been there for a long time. They would call it the graveyard. I'm seeing a lot of them, and they look like they've been there a long time. It looks like some could still be operational if they put the switches back on. They're not totally dead craft. I can actually see some power sources in them flickering on and off. So they're not completely dead ships. I can see dead people in them, you know, where like they crashed and all the people died. But I can see the ships can be fully operational if they wanted to use them again. They just need to repair them. And let me see. Yeah, I'm seeing a scattering of like almost like nuts, bolts, screws sort of thing, like parts and like shrapnel and stuff like that all over the place. And let's see what Raul Tim wants to show me here. And
Chris, can you just for specifics, the Lunar Operations Command Center, when you're looking at it, like you're floating in the air and you're looking at it from on the moon, what does it actually look like? Is it flat and you see down into it, or what? You know, like bell shaped, but what? Is it come off the surface, or is it flat, like a building, or is it underneath?
There's some areas that come onto the surface that they can see above the moon, and they can see Earth. There are actual segments of it that can actually look over the lunar surface. I see living quarters that look like that. I can see a command structure, like almost like how a ship would have a bridge, but I can see people in uniform walking around. I can see. Let me see. I can see that room that Corey was talking about with that big conference room. The tables moved around. I can actually see that room. It's empty at the moment.
From floating up like in the sky and looking down like a helicopter, you can see that.
Yes, and I can see through it like how Superman looks through the different layers with X-ray vision. I can look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
And see the different breakdowns.
Our raw golden triangle being, are you actually seeing through his eyes? Is that how this is going?
He's actually standing next to me, or psychically transmitted next to me, and he wants to speak,
so I'm bouting out.
Okay, let's see what Raul Tim says. He says, "We are Ra, and we have witnessed the many trials and tribulations and failed attempts at supremacy that this base has exerted, and we wish to create peace from within this place you call Lunar Command. We have been to such place. We watch over such place, and we see the future of such place. And we see that we can transmit the findings of such place. So we will do so. And now he's having me look at like the command structure. It almost
and I just want to say to our friend, and we wish for peace for that too. We wish for beauty, right? Thank you.
Yes, and I can see it's set up almost like the command structure of like a ship, like a Navy ship or a submarine or something of that nature. And the insides almost look like the insides of buildings too. It's a mixture between like the inside of a battleship and the inside of a building that you'd go into. It was built the same way as both of those, I can see. And I'm looking down several hallways, and
what
it looks like...
floor are you on as you're looking down these hallways? Do you know what floor you're on while you're looking down these hallways? Give those if you know. Okay.
It looks like I'm looking at the first three floors. And it's made to look inside like they are actually, I can see windows and everything, but they're not looking outside. So the people, get more comfortable with it. I'm seeing like the insides of like almost like an office, like how we'd have like an office building. And it looks like sunlight's coming through and all this other stuff, but it's actually artificial. And people are going about their work and everything on that floor. And I'm going down one more. And let's see if I can actually get down here. What am I looking at here? Oh, I went too far down because I'm seeing the light is dimmer the further down I go.
Let me just add, Corey says that he's been on the first three floors on the top. First one is where most everything goes on, and the next two have like a medical facility, and then they do some medical stuff on the second and third floor, down, looking down, going down.
And it looks like as I'm hitting like I'm going to the second floor. This is really odd. I'm seeing this from a perspective of almost like being in water, and I'm seeing like as I go further down. It looks like I'm somewhere in the middle now. And I'm seeing where the grays are doing their thing. It looks like somewhere in the middle floor. I'm not sure how many levels down. I'm going to see if I can see how many levels down this is. Looks like about 6th, 7th, or 8th level down. I'm seeing these tanks with fluid in them. And I'm seeing the grays and their machine servants going around and doing things. This looks like where people are brought when they're abducted. Because I can see other people being worked on right now. I'm assuming this is in real time. I'm going to see a check with Raul Tim here. And he says, yes, this is in real time. And I haven't been noticed. He's shielding me so I'm not noticed by any of the more telepathic species. So I can look around. And it looks like the light is really dim in this area. And extremely dim. And except for in this one area with the tanks, the light level's a little higher. But for the most part, the lights are almost like a candlelight level.
Corey said there was areas, there's like a regular area, it kind of is like a prison, where they have bunks together and then they have to go to one area to eat and stuff like that. And then there's another area he was recently in, and he called it the VIP area inside, which is really like luxurious and stuff. So if you see any of that, we'll compare that too. Okay,
the luxurious stuff, I've actually seen this before. This is like ICC controlled and created, I want to say a mall or like a marketplace, because I've seen there's this marketplace that I've seen in abduction experiences and in a lot of visions and such, and this has been on several shows where there's like a marketplace where aliens trade back and forth, and it's almost like a like something you'd see if you go into like an outdoor market or something like that, where people are trading wares back and forth. And I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at the luxurious part. The luxurious part looks almost like a hotel, where people can have a view of the lunar surface. And this looks like where people are staying in transit from one place to another. And let me look here. And I've seen this before. I'll give a short little narrative here. There was a friend of mine and I that when we started looking into dimensions and doing things like that, we were looking at the life spans of a few women that were working with a person who was running almost like a police force, like an intergalactic police force. And this was a parallel universe to our current Earth, but the moon structure was pretty much the same. The Earth structure was pretty much the same. And we noticed that instead of it being called ICC like it is now, it was, that particular organization was called the corporation. It was just called the corporation. And the same situation where they own all the businesses and everything. Well, they had this like series of like bunks and hotels and stuff like that on the moon. There was a little bit more infrastructure in that universe where I could see like advertisements and stuff like that. But it's pretty much the same premise. To where I saw these two women that were working for this person that was running this organization. They got to stay in one of these facilities in that universe, and it looks like it's our concurrent time continuum. This is very similar, where I can see rooms like hotels, beds, bathrooms, showers, everything. Something you'd expect like in a 5-star hotel or higher, something you'd see like in Vegas or in some luxurious city. This is very similar to what I experienced with that other alternate universe. And I had a sneaking suspicion that they were on the moon facilities before, and I had that confirmed not too long ago. And now, while we're talking, Ra'u-Tem is stepping back, and the two women are stepping forward. Crystal and Rachel are their names. They're from Darkfleet.
Now, let me just prelude. Crystal and Rachel were saved from being locked outside the barrier that the Blue Avians put up on the last Raw Speak show, number 2, I believe, or number 1. I don't remember. You have to listen to both of them, I guess. And we prayed the law of one for the highest good of all concerned, brought in the Blue Avians, the Spheres, or also known as Raw Group, and they got back inside. So go ahead. Okay,
yeah, these two, they're showing me now that not far from this luxurious area, I'm looking at it's still the backside of the moon, backside almost to the front. I'm seeing this kind of wrap around a little bit. I'm seeing, what am I looking at here? Okay, there's a base for Darkfleet that kind of has this starburst pattern. And
yeah, that's what, I just want to bring this in. That's what Corey talks about. There is another base called Darkfleet on the moon, which is like the 10 o'clock position, like on the side towards the back more. But on many YouTubes, if you guys still don't believe, go on the YouTubes and you can see many UFOs or alien ships, as people call them, coming off the moon around that direction. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, they're showing me missions they've gone on. They're trying to transmit almost a whole lifetime's worth of experiences in a little bit. But let me see here.
If you would just describe what your base looks like there at the 10 o'clock position on the moon towards the back.
Yep, that's what they're doing. Yeah, I can. Like I said, it looks like a starburst. Almost like a 4 points of the compass look, and like of the star pattern that's on maps and globes, and it has kind of that look to it. And I'm seeing where their central command is dead center of this circle. It's not a concentric circle; it's just one with like a star pattern. And in the center of that, it looks like their command area. And I am seeing. They're pointing out that there are bays that stretch above the lunar surface where they can launch ships really quickly. And I can see this. This is about as Star Trek as you can get now, because I'm seeing like this futuristic-looking space station that just happens to be on the lunar surface. and I'm seeing this thing can actually detach if it had to. It looks like if it had to leave for some reason.
The space station, the Darkfleet
Yes.
Space
Yes.
Command Station.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes, and
portable
it can actually
then.
detach. It's portable. Yeah. But it hasn't had to leave or do anything in a long time like that. So they just have ships come and go. And I'm seeing little bay doors opening and closing all the time. And I'm seeing where they're pointing to where the command structure is. And, okay, they switched the story slightly over. They wanted to make clear that they were not willingly put into this program. They were taken as children and trained by who? Cabal forces. But they moved over to the Dark Fleet after they found out some of the bad stuff that was going on. They wanted to go over there because they saw they could make more of a difference there. And eventually this Dark Fleet group, it looks like it grew and grew and grew.
Now, let's make it clear, this Dark Fleet group, are they good? Are they alliance? Are they good for the highest good of all people on Earth and on the moon? Is that it?
Yes, they are a good sect of the. I don't know if they're alliance. I believe they are now, but I don't think they were then. Let me see. Does not look like they were, but it looks like the ones that came back into the system. They went down to Earth, did some things down there, and they came out, went to the lunar base, and it looks like they stuck to their own territory. They stuck to the Dark Fleet base. These two are actually there. They're actually sitting in a room there talking to me. Let me see here. Yeah, the inside, the architecture of this base looks more Star Trek-ish than the regular lunar command that I just talked about.
What's the room look like that they're sitting in?
It's white and gray, and it looks literally like something off of the Starship Enterprise in Star Trek. It doesn't have those doors that go. It doesn't have that, but it does have an automatic door that does open when people approach it. It's not like a double door like you'd see on Star Trek. But
what are the walls look like and the furniture?
The walls are gray colored or silver. It looks like, and it looks like it's not reflective or anything like that. It's like an actual silver coloring, and the furniture looks like they're standard like tables and chairs. I can see like a mixture of I see wood, I see let's see what else I see here. I see metal, I see things like that. But and the clothes that people are wearing.
So you see any appliances, any technology, anything sitting on the desk, or just curious?
Okay, the technology I'm seeing, it looks like I'm looking inside of a laboratory as I'm seeing scientific equipment, but it looks like it's very futuristic in feel and look. Like I'm looking at a microscope right now, and it has like a little light that's shining underneath it that doesn't look like it has any power source to it. It's just there, and the light bulbs above aren't light bulbs. I'm seeing that there's just panels glowing. They're not. There's no bulbs at all. Nothing like that. Let me see around here. Yeah, and the hallways, they're not narrow, but they're not wide either. And I can see several people moving along. Let me see. It's mostly humans I'm looking at, and these two are kind of walking behind as I'm looking through here. And I've noticed all the people, the clothes they're wearing are one-piece jumpsuits, kind of like let me see. What the two women are wearing are red and black, but I see. And they almost look like somebody that would sit on a motorcycle, like a dirt bike. That's that kind of uniform, the one piece.
Is there patches on there or anything?
Let me see. Doesn't look like there are any markings. Let me see on the back. Okay, yeah, there is a marking on their back. On the
women's back?
Yeah, on the women's back. And they're showing me they have tattoos marking this as well. I see this like almost like this eagle or phoenix insignia.
Ask them what it stands for what it stands for them. What's it mean for them? Or I can ask. What's it mean for you guys? Can you describe it?
They said unity.
Beautiful.
They said almost like, we have the eagle symbol for this country, but it looks more like a phoenix. I can see it looks more energy-like than regular bird-like. And can we look at your shoes? What do your shoes look like? What do the shoes look like you're seeing? Boots. They're just wearing like combat boots sort of thing. Not like tennis shoes or anything like that. Black, it looks like. Let me see. Yeah, and they do have helmets, and they look like motorcycle helmets with a visor that flips up and down. And
can I ask these two women if they would like to give Chris and us through Chris a tour of your beautiful place? Just like give them a synopsis of the most prominent stuff that you want to describe. Can we do that too, Chris? And two women?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they said they will. And they're asking me to follow them down this hallway, and I can see other people notice me. And let me see, they're getting a little bit of interference here.
Chris, if other people notice you, just say wave hi and give them a Law 1 sticker.
Yeah, that's I've been handing it to people as I've been going along, and see, it looks like everybody here is telepathic. I can see other. I'm seeing other aliens. Let me see here. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of interference here. There's some as we go further and further in, and these two women are kind of clearing it up for me. We're going down, and there's a lit hallway, and there's a bunch of people going along, and notice this hallway is getting wider, and we're turning a corner, and it's more lit. It looks almost like the inside of a hospital. I'm seeing a medical wing there because I can see the symbol of the caduceus on one wall, and it's set up almost like a doctor's office, but it's using this futuristic technology. Like I see some computer panels along the walls. I can see lists of she says one of them says casualties. And I asked, well, what's the casualties from? And she says actual combat. I said, combat with who? And she is saying, just says various other races. And the list of people that are injured, they're in there. They're showing me stuff that went on or is going on.
Can I ask, is their combat getting less and less as we're going into this golden age too, up there on the moon? Like more people are coming into higher consciousness and loving? Do you see it getting less and less, or no?
Yes, they're nodding. They're nodding. Yes, it's getting significantly less. But some of it's happening outside of the system. But it's getting less because everybody's locked out. They can't get back to these facilities. But now that these Dark Fleet people, some of them are back in there, they're able to come back and update everybody here. And they're leading me past this desk, and they're showing me back in these offices. And there are people. I see a doctor in the back that stood up and was looking over at me, and I'm seeing a bunch of people. They made it so that I was noticed by all the staff there, and they're turning around. And they're turning and looking at me. I can see a doctor in a white coat, the white doctor's coat. And I can see the symbol of the caduceus on it, and he's approaching me. And let's see what he's trying to transmit something to me. He's telepathic as well. And he's trying to transmit something to me. He's showing me recent battles that have gone on. And let's see what species is. He's human. I couldn't tell right away for some reason. Okay. He's showing me all these battles that are going on outside and inside. And he's saying, please make this stop. And
Chris, I want you just to tell him and introduce him to the nurse that came up with the law of one symbol, the Draco law of one symbol, and get him in contact with that nurse so he can catch up. How's that?
Okay. And I'm telling him her name. Her name is Rostur. And I'm telling him this. I'm showing him this symbol. And he has like a computer pad in his hand, so I just and he was able to actually see that and put it in there. And he said the symbol looks familiar, but he didn't know what it was, and because it's been broadcast before, not everybody knew. And I said that is the Draco equivalent to the law of one. And he's questioning. He's like, really? A Draconian created this? And he's very.
And let me tell him. The law of one is a galactic universal prayer. I call it the law of one is a trumper, because in the law of one it's short, and it prays for all of us, and it prays for the highest good of all concerned, and it's a prayer that works.
And let me see. He's fascinated by it. I'm asking him his name. He said his name is Adam. And Adam what? He's not giving me a last name, but he said he is. I'm asking him what he's actually doing. He says he's a doctor for Dark Fleet. And let's see here. And he is going to take he's holding a glass pad, like the clear glass pad technology. And he is taking this, and it looks like he's shoving this pad into one of the wall terminals. And that's how they upload things, that he just sticks this pad in, and that's how any information is uploaded. It's like how we would stick a disk in something. And he's sticking this glass pad in. He's hitting a few buttons, and the glass pad came back out, and he just uploaded the information to the terminals, and that symbol has just made its way onto their medical terminals. Let me see here, and he said some of the other alien residents actually recognize. I see several other alien types. There isn't just any one. There's mostly humans in this area, but I'm seeing. Let's see. I'm seeing a shorter, orange-colored skin individual. He looks reptilian. He looks kind of like a Triceratops-ish look, but the fan on the back of the head is segmented in 3-4 places. And let me see. And he's short. He's going up and looking at it. Oh, he was wearing. It looks like he was wearing a helmet. That wasn't a head crest. That was a helmet. He pulled the helmet off and he was looking at it. And a bunch of people are looking at it. They look at all the new information that's put on these terminals in this big hallway. And the two women are coming back out of the office. That's why they brought me back there. They wanted me to wanted me to meet this person, Adam.
I was going to ask the two Dark Fleet women if they could show us technology that we haven't heard much about on Earth that we'll use once this all gets released, if it's safe.
Yeah. Yes. So they're showing me, and they're leading me past all the people. I'm waving to Adam, and he says thank you, and then he's walking off. And these.
Thank you, Adam, from this nurse to you, a doctor. Thank you so much. Namaste.
And they're leading me back down the hallway, and we're going down another corner. And they said we're going down. I mean, down into the base itself. we're right next to an elevator. We climbed in the elevator, and let's see.
Oh, you're going to take an elevator ride on the moon, Chris.
Yeah, and there was another alien guy standing in this elevator. He's like a short little man. He looks kind of like almost like reptilian, but turtle-like features. And he's wearing a big hat. He's standing in this lift with me. Let me see. And it looks like the elevator's going quickly. I can actually feel the movement of this. It's going down. And, okay, it's opening. Oh, he's getting off. And he thought it was weird that I was in there. He wasn't disgusted, but he was surprised.
Hey, stick a Law 1 sticker on the elevator before you get out, huh?
That's what I did, and it's on the terminals inside of the elevator too. I can see these little screens in the elevator. It looks like an elevator here, but it has little terminals that have like recording on them and stuff like that. And it looks like Adam have made a recording that he spread throughout the facility. It looks like he's one of the head guys.
Man, they work fast there when they got something they like, huh?
Yeah, and it looks like he's already talking about it on the. I can see on these little recordings. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, and they're leading me into a big bay. It looks like with ships, and I can see them moving up a tunnel. An upward tunnel being launched from there, and they're these odd-looking triangular-looking ships. But it looks like the back triangular fins fold out. And it looks kind of like the Klingon symbol that's on Star Trek, this little triangular symbol that they show for like the Klingon Empire. Kind of looks like that if people have watched Star Trek. But with 3 points, and these ships are raising up and going out, and I'm asking where they're being launched to. Oh, they said security. When I said security for what? Oh, they're going. They said they're going to Tyler's vessel. They just said. Let me see. And I'm looking inside this bay, and I'm seeing this bay of ships. Not all human ships. There's alien ships in there too, that are docked in there. It's this large bay. It looks like the size of like a football field, a couple football fields. And we're standing on like a catwalk looking downward into this area, and I'm seeing men and women, everybody walking around inside this. It's like a big terminal, like an airport terminal. And not necessarily a terminal, but more like a tarmac. And I'm seeing in the distance, I'm seeing a set of windows of people looking down on this tarmac, like we would have a flight control crew at an airport, and they're directing these ships out, and they are the two women are taking me over to see these people at the windows, and they're knocking on a door and letting me in there, and I'm seeing a guy standing at a computer terminal. And he's wearing it looks like an Air Force uniform. He's not wearing a Dark Fleet uniform. He's wearing Air Force. And
from USA?
Yes. And I can hardly see his face, though. This is odd. It's almost like I don't think he's human, though. He looks more mechanical. He's not human, but he's wearing a U.S. Air Force uniform. And I'm asking the ladies who this is, and they say he runs many facilities. Looks like he runs many facilities. It looks like he's an artificial intelligence. He's not human. He just looks kind of human.
Okay, well, we've prayed many times for artificial intelligence with the Law of One, but we'll bypass that now we'll come back to that someday. So yeah, that'd be great. So we're going to see a new technology we haven't heard about before, because of these women. 2 women. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah, okay. Now they called out this robotic guy to show around. We went down on this tarmac, and a new technology that we haven't seen before. Okay, it looks like they're opening like this. It looks almost like the size of a bus. It's a vehicle, but it looks like one that flies through space, and it's kind of the shape of a bus or cigar-shaped craft. And he's showing me on. Well, he's going over to this terminal that the ship has. He says, "Here's a technology that you haven't seen." And I looked at the center of this ship, and he hit a button inside the ship. Excuse me, hit a button inside the ship, and the ship folded into itself.
Okay, this is a ship that looks like a bus, and he hit a button and it folded up like a package?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh,
it folded
how
up
big
to the size
is the
of
package?
about the size of my fist.
Wow.
And I've seen something similar to this before. This looks like Anunnaki technology and future human technology. They have something similar to this where they can fold into like inner space and stuff like that. But
ask him who made this technology, this particular one. He probably knows.
He says, let's see, they back engineered it from a downed craft.
Who's they?
The Cabal.
Okay, so now probably give us a tour of this vehicle that looks like a bus that can fold up to the size of a fist. Probably give us your tour, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and he's showing me. Let's see, and he says he's hitting a button on the outside of it, and it unfolds back out again. And he says he's showing me how this is possible, where it folds into the inner layers of a dimension that's created and disassembled. Let me see. The dimension of a fold of space that allows it to become almost virtually weightless and sizeless and massless. And he's showing me how it folds.
Oh, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's showing me how it folds into itself and back out. He's showing me how it almost fragments, reassembles into like a cube-like form, the size of a fist, and can fold back out. But any people that are aboard won't get injured.
What? You can fold this when people are aboard or beings are aboard? What?
They won't
really?
notice a thing while they're inside. They won't notice anything.
It's like they're still in the bus. If it folds up, they're still riding in the bus.
Mhm. Yeah. And
wow.
And they said you could actually pack more people and cargo into something if you just fold a bunch of these ships into one thing. And they said this is how they get get certain things from point A to point B. And on Earth, I'm being shown like semi trucks in places delivering cargo. These things, some of these things are sitting inside boxes, and it looks like this is how the Cabal gets delegates from one area to another. They get folded into one of these vessels, and several things get put into like a regular size box, and it gets shoved into the back of a semi truck or on a train.
Or on a train. Very clever. Wow. So you mean like, okay, Chris is sitting in the box or the bus. Chris is sitting in this bus. I press the button on the outside. It folds up. I put it in my pocket and go inside and cook dinner. Meanwhile, Chris is still in the bus and he doesn't notice a thing. He's still driving to his destination or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, and he's nodding. And,
so is this one of the technologies that the Blue Avians and all the alliances is picked to give us all of humanity when you reach your goal, and we all reach our goal to have this technology, and even in one day, it'll be great.
Yeah, this is one of the things they're going to give up. But this was not something that I don't think the Blue Avians came up with this. This looks like something the Anunnaki created, and it was found in a downed vessel. I'm going to see if it's on Earth or on the Moon. Oh, and they said on Earth. There was a downed spaceship they found in some kind of ice cap or something. I'm seeing. And they were able to determine how the technology worked. The version of it that this guy was showing me and the two women were showing me. Let me see. It was more of a back-engineered version of that. They had a hard time deciphering some of the Anunnaki technology, but they did find that one thing, and it was only a piece of a vessel. It wasn't like the whole thing. And it took them years to figure this out.
But since the two women showed us, is this on the list to give humanity on Earth and beyond when the goal is met, of the technology gift?
Yes. Everybody will get this, and they'll be able to store things easier. They'll be able to transport like whole vehicles, houses, everything. This way.
Oh, moving would be glorious in that.
And
I'm sure there's another technology to help pack up too, because I hate packing, man. But
they said you don't have to pack, because you can take a whole house with all the stuff in it. Have this technology, it folds in on itself, and then that you put it in a box or put it in a vehicle. Boom, or just stick it on a truck to move it, and then you go to wherever, and then you undo it when you get to your destination, and your house is there.
Well, to these two women or this man that's showing us this wonderful technology, I often wondered, the technology will be given to us all at once. How I'm trying to envision how could it be given to the whole world all at once? Just appear in each one's house, or a bunch of ships are going to come and drop the packages with parachutes, or is there anything about that you can disclose? One
of these two women said it'll be traded. People, if they want to know the new technology, it will be given to everybody at once, but people will want to trade things back and forth, trade ideas, trade energy sources, other scientists and such on the Earth, also like people that do things in their own basements and garages will tinker with it too. People will come up with brand new ideas based on it. Innovation will spring forward because of it.
That's creating beauty right there. Yes, that vision. But how can you, or do you know, or is it still in negotiation? How are you going to get this technology for like this one or like the replicator to us all at once? I'm just curious if you can say anything about it. If you do know.
Well, that would be they just materialize it near people or near neighborhoods. Yes, they're confirming that. Yeah, they're going to just materialize it, and there'll be an announcement that's made. Tyler's people will have their own way of going about it. Dark Fleet will have their own way of going about it, and whoever takes over the Cabal infrastructure and ICC infrastructure afterwards will distribute the technology.
I see. Okay. Thank you, guys. Wow. Do these two women have anything to say? And then I think you said another a Dark Fleet person came or something like that?
No, it was just these two women that were, and this robot guy that were there. And it looks like he's going back to his room, and he's waving and taking off. They told him to go back in there. And, okay, now where are they taking me? Let's see. Okay, they are taking me into another room. And it looks like this is a lit room with like a control panel. And what are they showing me here? Oh, okay, they hit a button and they opened a window or like some kind of doorway inside the tarmac. I'm saying, what is in here? And they're showing me something fairly big. They're telling them to drag something out on the tarmac. There's something large. It looks like the piece of a spacecraft. Okay, they're showing me the piece of the spacecraft that this folding in technology was back engineered from, and it's a front end or like a bow of a spaceship. And I recognize the technology. This is definitely Anunnaki. Now, but it looks like something much older than I've seen before. And they said it's in excess of 25,000 years old or more. And they were able to base this equipment off of that. Now they're putting it back in. They wanted me to see what that looked like. And there's also, let me see, looks like somebody else decided to interject on the conversation here. There's somebody else wanting to talk. And it looks like, trying to see who, this is really odd. Okay, the two women are saying, yeah, other people were noticing that I was checking all this out, and they're just observing. They're not wanting to talk or anything. They're just observing. And,
okay.
Let me see here. Okay, yeah, they're taking me down another catwalk over to this other corner of this bay.
Let me just interject here. We are looking in the inside of the Dark Fleet Space Command on the moon. Okay.
Yes, and okay, now they're opening another door that's what was hidden, and they closed it, and I'm inside of a storage room, and I see a bunch of things that are tagged and cataloged. It looks like weapons they've come across, ship parts they come across, unknown things they've come across, and they have a bin they put a bunch of unknown stuff in. And it looks like a standard like storeroom that you'd see in behind like a shop or something with like shelves where things are sitting on. And with tags on it saying when things were found, when things were cataloged. Yeah, I'm seeing all sorts of things in there. I'm seeing like guns. I'm seeing ship pieces, like little pieces, not huge. And computer pieces, chips, saying where they found them. It looks like they found a bunch of stuff on Earth that were buried in like caves and such. And,
so what is the importance to showing us this room the two women want to convey to us?
So, showing that all of these records will be divulged when the time comes. It looks like they've been cataloging these things and storing them in this storeroom since...
oh, my God. I never would have thought that you guys were keeping evidence, true history evidence up on the moon for us. I always imagine, it's going to be found in the Vatican, hidden below, and other places like that. Wow, this is awesome. Thank you for showing us that.
Yeah, it looks like they've been doing this since the 1950s. Yeah, and they at first they weren't the original ones that did it. I think things got moved over to them when they realized the bad guys were kind of going nuts. So they moved stuff over to their side. And yeah, as I'm seeing things with tags on them that are from I see one with the year 1974 on it, and I'm checking out what this thing is. It looks like a corner of a spacecraft that has like a strange metal. And
does it say the year or the site?
Yeah, it said 1974 is the year that's on the tag.
Or the incident?
Incident. I'm seeing where this was found. Let's see. I'm trying. The name starts with a T. It looks like it's Tunisia. Tunisia.
Okay. I was just looking for something that can they show us something that will collaborate with some of the news story that's happened on Earth, maybe in the United States of America that me and Chris know. Like a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. And they said on there. Let me see what they have to say. And they said, yes, you'll love this one. Yeah, and they went back to this back room in the very back corner. and they have something. No, they have something from Roswell.
Cool.
Yeah, they're showing me a piece of the ship, and they're showing me the metal that the people reported at the time. The memory, that's where we get memory metal from, where it can be crinkled up and it retakes its shape.
Yep.
And they're showing me that, and they're showing me they can crinkle it up like tinfoil, and it just goes like a Rubbermaid container.
So how do they get this stuff when there's wrecks of other beings and stuff? Do people like the Dark Fleet go there real quick and get as much as they can, or how does that work? Because I know the military and the people, the bad guys on Earth, they send their group really quick.
The Dark Fleet guys try to get it as quickly as possible. It looks like the reason they're called the Dark Fleet is they hang in the shadows and watch. It's more of like a reconnaissance sort of thing, and they have been able to retrieve things that the Cabal has not been able to.
Wow.
Yeah, let me see, like other wreckages and such.
Yes, I know these women are excited to show us around. Oh, you guys are going gung-ho, and we're excited to learn all this detail. But I have two more short points, and it's already been an hour, Chris, so that's okay. But I wanted to see what these women would like to share with us. Do they have anything on their heart, or if they have something else important to show us? It's up to them.
Let me see. What are they showing me? Okay, the image is starting to pull back. Okay, they're showing me something in deep space now. They're showing me where certain how their ships operate. Where they hang back, where they watch. They're watching over the system and such. And let me see. Yeah, it looks like their job is recovery and reconnaissance. And they have a couple new objectives where they're against the Cabal now in some of their ventures, and they try to snag as much material as they can that the Cabal won't get. And I'm sure, why are they distant? Looks like the image is distancing from me, and I'm wondering why. Okay, I told them to come back here where I am because it looks like there was just far too much interference for me to hear them now. It looks like somebody was trying to prevent me from seeing that, so now they're back here with me, and now they're explaining it. Now let me see what they said. Okay, we watch and wait for opportunities, just like if somebody was using say a police scanner to listen for crimes that are going on. They do the same. They listen for Cabal activity, and they do something similar. And when they know there's like a ship crash or something like that, they're out and they go and take care of it. There's been less of them since the lockout in the system, but now that some of them are being let back in, they can actually help again. And let me see. And they are, what are they saying? Okay.
Do they just really quick curiosity? Do they have any evidence that will corroborate a 9/11 as being like just say an inside job and not the real true story what the mass media is putting out?
Let me see. Oh yes. They said there was definitely that was definitely Cabal. We knew that part, but they said I'm seeing what was used, and they said it was very primitive what they used. It wasn't really it was explosives that were used, but they were using the glass pad technology to do it. But with the timing and everything, but with the energy that's happening here on Earth. It disrupts some of the technology. They were doing it from space. They weren't doing it from down here.
Oh, really? I never would have thought of that. Well, that's expanding my vision. So you do have some items tagged that will corroborate 9/11 was an inside job. Yes?
Yep.
Or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yes,
they do.
Yes. Okay. Great. Now I want you guys just to bring forth what you would like to tell the people on Earth. Any tell or show. And then we'll get on to the next point. I don't mean to make it push you out of there. I'm not, but we're ready to come back on. I love you guys. Thank you.
Okay. The point. Their point is they're wanting humanity to see them as more of the protectors than the villains, because they don't want to be integrated in with the cabal. They don't agree with them in the slightest. That's why they convinced the blue aliens to bring them back in. And
beautiful. I'm so glad we could help you come back from the other side of the barrier. I bet you guys are ecstatic too. And thank you, Blue Avians, and thank you, Law of One, for the highest good of all concerned. It's truly beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. They said thank you, and it looks like they're bowing out. It looks like they're backing off now.
Oh wow, Chris, we're having fun now. Hey, here's the mainstream media news. You get truth news you get here on the Diamonds Network is the beings on one of the Diamonds calls, remember? Oh, the test call we did for them to come in their own voices. They said, yeah, we're going to bring that mainstream media news, and they tricked us again. We didn't, through these raw speak shows. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Well, I want to go back to the Lunar Operations Command for a minute. Chris, go back there like a helicopter, like you're overseeing it. And in Corey and David's show, Corey mentioned in the 1930s and 40s that Lunar Operations Command was like a Nazi facility. And then in the 30s and 40s and through the time, they built onto this Nazi facility. Do you see any evidence that we can bring forth that it was built onto, like there was an original building and then there's others built onto?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing older construction in some areas. Like it does fit like that 1930s and 40s look. You know, like how some buildings here haven't been updated. I can see in the Lunar Command area, I can see like some of the woodworking and everything looks like it's from that time frame. And let me see.
And in the late 50s, they started building onto it more in earnest. And if you guys don't know by now, but all the wars that have been started on planet Earth alone, they've been started one country against the other country. They've been started by the same person. And out of these wars, they use our energy to make all these war machines, and they use the money and they fund it, they funnel it to the secret space program to build more big bad boy toys on the moon. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I'm seeing how, I'm looking back across the timeline. They were trying to block me from seeing this, so what I'm doing is I'm stepping back into a different time frame, and I'm seeing when the Nazis first got there. And I'm seeing these older rocket-looking ships, but they look like they're a hybrid between human and alien tech. And it looks like these are kind of almost like construction robots. And I'm seeing these things walking along the lunar surface, and it looks like that's what's constructing some of the first structures. Now, I know there was a hollow moon before that, and I know somebody else was there prior, but I'm seeing these little machines. It looks like they're doing like digging and stuff like that, and it looks like as they bored down into the moon, they disguised what they were doing and made it look like a crater, even though at that time we couldn't really see what was going on up there.
Well, we can't see still there because this is on the backside of the moon.
As I'm looking, let me see. I'm seeing where these rockets went up to, and it looks like these machines bored deep down in, and I'm seeing what the moon looked like before the base was in there, and it looks like a cave. It looks like the inside of a cave, big cave, but a cave, and these robots started to build the very first facilities there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that. Yeah.
Well, and that brings me to my next point, and you just mentioned it. Yes, the moon story we're kind of coming to find out. Well, Chris got a surprise the last week or so, and we're coming to find out it's kind of the same story as Earth. there was natives, original natives on that moon, and we named one of the babies Buddy, and then his father, Chris talked to his father and Buddy and others, learned that these were like the original natives, like our Native Americans on Earth, and before a group of people or more than one group of people came and destroyed their native land, and now it's what Corey describes as like a base for lots of beings that are, it's a neutral zone and a workstation. So what I'd like to do, Chris, and if we could call the father of Buddy, and you guys can hear the rest of the story, or the story on the first 1 and 2 shows of Raw Speaks, and just get an update if he found his other people, or just an update, a short update of what's going on with the original native beings of the moon.
Okay. I'll look for, his name is Sudan, so I'm going to look for Sudan here. Okay, now I found him. He's in a lower level of the base, in a dimmer lit area. And let me see what he has to say. He says, greetings. I'm asking him about his people. And I said hello to him back. I'm asking him how goes the search for his people. And he has a big grin on his face, and he wants me to go see something. And I remember I'd asked him before if he had the ability to jump from universe to universe. And he says, not necessarily jump from universe to universe, more like view. And like what I'd been doing, but they can use technology to go do it. And let me see, getting some interference here. Okay. Yeah, he's saying follow him through this hallway. And daggone it, there's some interference here. Give me a second. There's a being that's trying to interrupt me here. Get him out of there. Okay. And Sudan is telling me, he's showing me a computer panel.
But by the way, Chris is not using the old war tactics to get somebody that's trying to attack him away. He's using the law of one, highest good of all concern.
And I'm seeing Sudan is showing me a computer. Somebody showed him that his people left. Let's see. Oh, they left sometime, it looks like, in the 14th century. Some of them woke up because a wave came through the system and sometime in the 1400s. Was it the 14 or 1500s? Okay, somewhere between 14 and 1500s, and woke a lot of them up, not all of them, little bits at a time, and it looks like they actually up and went somewhere. And I'm asking them where they went, and see if they actually went to a parallel universe or not. And he's saying yes, some of them did. This universe that I mentioned on a previous call called Lystaria, they went there. And some of them went there, and it looks like some of them went to a neighboring star system. This still doesn't account for all 3 trillion of them, though. Let me see. Just handfuls of them. He says it's more than they had before. There's probably small groups of them. And he's already sent a message out to them to come to the lunar base. And he says they're actually, some of them are on their way there. They do have technology, but it looks kind of primitive. It looks like stone. And it looks like stone-ish, but it's in the shape of like triangles and stuff like that. And let's see what he has to say further. Oh, he's thanking me for turning him on to some of these other locations. And it turned out some of them panned out to where some of his people went. But they live a very long life. So some of these beings have been in these different places since like the 1400s, 1500s. And they're actually on their way back as we're speaking, but it took them a while to get to these places. And let me see. Oh, okay. Buddy just came walking up to him. And he's shorter than I thought he was, but yeah, he resembles the Thing from Fantastic Four, but he's short. And he's just he's smiling because he got to communicate with me again. And let's see what he's saying. Now, yeah, Sudan's picking him up so that he can actually talk to me, and he's saying, "Buddy is friend." That's how he talks. Buddy is friend, chum, pal, buddy. And he says meaningful, friend, pal. That's how he talks. And
that's what he used when he came to you at first, when you were looking at the moon and taking videos of the moon, and shortly after that, buddy. Buddy is a little little child being, so that's how a little child talks, like the children on Earth.
Mm-hmm. And
love you, buddy. I'll give you a big old hug.
Yeah, and he's running and hugging, and he tried to run further up onto the surface to show me something, and Sudan had to grab him. But so yeah, it looks like they said they're on kind of a schedule, so they're walking off and taking care of something, but they're thanking us for helping.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon, I'm sure. We'll keep galactizing.
All right.
Thank you, Chris. Well, by the way, on Monday's Diamond show that we had on August 17th, we didn't ask, but there's beings that showed up, and we believe if you listen to the show, it's those stasis beings, a stasis being that Corey and David talk about on their show, and where they put themselves to sleep. They put themselves to sleep with the technology thousands of years back, and then their time to wake up in this 26,000-year cycle, the golden age that we're into now and going into and transitioning into. So go take a listen to that. It's on the YouTube channel. You can find the link on the Diamonds blog, Diamonds with an S Forever 31.blogspot.com. This is show 3 of Raw Speaks, bringing out more detail and galactizing with the Law of One and with our star beings, brothers and sisters. This is for episode 3 of Cosmic Disclosure with David Wilcock and Corey Good. So stay tuned for show 4, Raw Speaks, soon. Chris, you want to say anything?
No, I think we just covered it tonight.
Chris says we just covered it tonight. Oh, boy, did we do that. And I had fun at it. This is great. So, shine, diamonds, shine brighter and brighter every day. Have a great day.
Are you looking for healing or a change in your life to help you enjoy it more fully? You might benefit from a galactic energy reading and clearing from Chris Jacobs. Chris will work with you on a soul level to clear unseen negative influences, implants, programs, contracts, and energetic blocks. Chris Jacobs is a gifted energy healer. Contact him today at ChristopherStephenJacobs@gmail.com.